we all recognize we've had an incredibly difficult 16 months coming out of the pandemic. But as we come out of that, and as we rose as a community to get ourselves through the public health challenges, we now face another growing and I think urgent challenge, which is an alarming rise in violent crime, in particular in Ulster County and especially in the city of Kingston. I think it's critical that we very directly and clearly say that we must bring an end to this escalating cycle of violent crime. And we're all here today to announce a major new initiative, and I think an innovative initiative to do just that. And this is the work of several months of really led by our law enforcement leaders, elected officials, and community members working to bring together what I think is a really creative solution. The team will be called the AVERT unit, which stands for Anti-Violence Effort Response Team. It really is a first of its kind, and as you can see, multi-agency and community-focused unit, and they will be laser focused on really disrupting and ultimately ending this cycle of violence and violent crime across the county. I think a lot of us feel like we've been reacting and sort of constantly bombarded, but rather than continuing to react for what has really been the tit-for-tat escalation of shootings and other violent crime, AVERT is going to take a proactive approach. We're going to really try to take the initiative back, led and really driven by the community. The unit will work with the community leaders and the partners here and many more across the county to combat violent crime, to stop the flow of illegal guns and weapons into our streets, and equally importantly, to offer alternative paths to especially our young people to get out of this cycle and off the path of violence. We're going to do this with our community. We're going to do it as a community. This isn't something that's going to be done to the community. It's going to be done by and with and through our community.
We know in the community who these individuals are, yet because there's no active case against them, we're waiting for them to do something. Instead of waiting, this program, AVERT, hence the word AVERT, is to ward off and know and find out a way to find these individuals and change their behavior and perhaps save some lives. The folks behind me are invested leaders. We all have a lot to give in this, both the community and law enforcement. And so I look forward to working with everyone here. I'm going to tell you a quick story as to how we got here. And it's been, this conversation has been going on since May. Every Tuesday we have meetings, and that's myself, Chief Kingston, the district attorney, and one partner that's not here because they were busy is the state police. Every Tuesday we have a meeting with our community folks here in the city of Kingston. And there was a brave lady who spoke up, and she said that when she had a moment of clarity, because she had her own issues in her life, that she tried to get help for her son. Her son went through foster care, and with that, there were issues with physical and mental abuse, and he had no, basically he had a zero compass, no moral compass, and he ended up getting involved in crime out in the street. And when she picked up the phone to get this kid help, no one was there to give him help. Well, we're here to reach out to the community and get them that help. And this is extremely important that people understand that this is in partnership with the community. It's the community who knows who these individuals are, as well as us. But we cannot do this alone. So this is an innovative program that's going to give everything from social services to mental health to housing to GED to get those, to target the youth and point them in the right direction. And if it doesn't work, well, folks, if you commit a crime in the city of Kingston or in the village of Ellenville or in Ulster County, you're going to be held accountable.
Something that we can focus on deterring the people who are highest at risk to commit these crimes. And as has been said, we have information as a result of law enforcement work as to who these persons might be before, in fact, they cross that line and commit a crime. So the concept is focused deterrence. We reach out to these people, before they get to that place that they've committed a horrible crime, or shot somebody, or shot a gun in our community. And we reach out to them in a way that we offer them services. It's a two-pronged effort. And once you do that, you make a relationship with that person, and you use community leaders to build on that relationship. And you try and find a way to send that young individual who may be going the wrong way in a different direction. Job training, education, support of mental health or trauma-involved problems that they might have. All of this is involved in making our community a safer place. At the same time, it's a two-pronged approach. We let them know that you are on our radar. We know that you're crossing the lines in some areas. And that if you continue to do that, we promise you, unfortunately, we don't want you to go in jail. We don't want to put you in jail. But if in fact you cross that line, we will treat you very seriously. So my office offers that backup, that we will prosecute and convict you if you are involved in gun violence in this community. So that
Part of what makes this a really unique team is it's composed of detectives and officers from multiple agencies throughout the county, in addition to social services workers and mental health professionals from our county team, really bringing together all those elements to, again, give folks the chance to really opt out of this cycle for violence and make sure that we're really giving those opportunities so that folks can de-escalate this cycle of violence.
We've seen over the last 2 years that gun violence has plagued our city. Innocent residents of our city have been injured, they have been killed, and we're here today to stand together to say that gun violence has to stop. And we're going to do everything that we can as a community to intervene. And this intervention program is modeled after evidence-based programs that have worked across the country, but also right here in our very own backyard. We've modeled this type of program using our intimate partner violence intervention program right here in Ulster County. And because of that program, using these same type of steps and this same type of community partnership, we've been able to reduce that type of intimate partner violence. And so now we're here today to tell you that we're joining forces yet again to intervene and break the cycle of gun violence. I'm announcing that as part of this proposal and as part of funding our community policing initiatives, I'm going to be proposing to the Common Council later this month to add 3 full-time police officers to the City of Kingston budget right now, so that we can get this program and our other community programs staffed up appropriately, because our officers need the tools to support the type of community policing that our community wants to see. In order for us to be successful, we need to be able to do the investigative work, we need to be able to serve the warrants, but we also need to be able to be out there building relationships. We need to be able to talk to people on their front porches.
Before me said, gun violence is plaguing our community. Time and time again, I find myself asking the question, what is going on? You know, I pick up the paper, or I get a text message that yet another shooting has occurred in the community. Sometimes I've been sitting right in my own house and I've heard gunshots fired. And so, you know, all of us should be able to feel safe in our homes, in our streets, in our neighborhoods, in our schools. Sitting on our porch, we should be able to feel safe. But yet there's so many who do not feel safe, and there's just been too many shootings. Shots fired in our county, shots fired in our city, in our neighborhoods, and in particular, this ward, the ward that I happen to represent, is where most of the gun violence takes place. So yeah, we want the guns off the streets, but we also want to take preventative measures by recognizing causation factors, trauma, connection and services, expanding access to high quality, culturally competent, coordinated social, emotional, and mental health supports by addressing the impacts of traumas. And so toward that end, you know, I do thank the county executive, District Attorney Flagg, Mayor Noble, all the law enforcement, all the partners that's here to take those proactive and preemptive steps. In addition to, you know, it's just very, you know, I'm reading off of a paper, excuse me. I'm reading off of a script, but this is very personal, very personal. We've seen too much. too much killing, too much shooting, too much violence in this community. I'm so happy that our partners, our law enforcement, and the county and the city officials are collaborating to make this a community effort and community engagement effort, because you can't do it without the community. And toward that end, you know, I think this initiative, Avert, is going to work because it is based on bringing in not just law enforcement, but mental health professionals to engage with the community. And so thank you. I'm sorry for getting emotional, but this is an emotional topic. And it has affected me deeply because many of the people that have been affected by this gun violence, I know them personally. And so thank you for inviting me here to speak. Thank you. I'm sorry for messing up my script, but thank you for getting involved in this. This is very important, and I urge the community, especially the Fourth Ward, to come out and get involved and engage with our law enforcement and with our county officials. We're here to work together. We all want the same goal at the end. So please get involved. Thank you.
I want to say that I feel like I'm on the brink of history because of the innovative and collaborative effort that I am witnessing today. And I want to share with you really quickly a story that sort of illustrates this, the need for Avert. Many years ago, when I first started my ministry at New Progressive, a young man, 5 years old, very loving, smart, and his mother died suddenly. And we were able to see the metamorphosis from this loving, extremely smart child, to a hateful, violent, angry individual. And he started on a trajectory that saw him suspended from school several times. They tried to send him to a Christian school. That didn't work. He went back to Kingston High School, and he was eventually either dropped out or was expelled. This young man eventually ended up in a gang, because we went to his initiation. We didn't go to, we saw the result of, he was pushed into traffic on Broadway as part of the gang initiation. And that became his life of further violence and hate. I didn't have the tools in my toolbox, my passion toolbox. It was way past my pay grade to know how to deal with him effectively, and so did everybody else that I knew. If programs like Avert, and I'm really grateful and thankful for it, because no more, I can almost say with certainty that with the success of this program, that no, we shouldn't lose any more kids to the gangs or to the violence. This young man had a series of prison interactions, and I'm ashamed to say that I don't know where he is today. And I am building my hope for the success of this community, the life of this community, that this Avert program is gonna make, can I say, a hell of a difference to this community. Thank you for all you do.